Hello, my name is Alindia Nabila with student ID 231-304-2014, and here I would like to tell a story we entitled as Hansel and Gretel, which is originated from the Brothers Grimm. So it is one of the American literature, and here is the story. A poor woodcutter lived with his wife and two children near a large dark forest. The boy was named Hansel and the girl named Gretel. They had very little to eat, and during a great famine in the land, the man could no longer provide food for his family. One night, as he lay in bed worrying, he said to his wife,
"Oh, what is to become of us? We can't even feed our own children. There's hardly enough food left."
His wife, who was the children's stepmother, replied, "Listen, husband, tomorrow morning we'll take both the children deep into the forest. We'll light a fire and give each them a little piece of bread. Then we'll leave them alone while we go to work. They'll never find their way back and we'll be free from the burden." The man was horrified and said,
"I can't do that. I'd rather share the last bite of food with them than abandon them in a wood."
But his wife would not stop pressing him, calling him a fool, and kept reminding him that if they didn't do this, they would all starve to death. She kept on until he finally gave in with a heavy heart. Now, the two children were still awake and had heard everything. Gretel cried bitterly, but Hansel whispered, "Don't worry, Gretel, I will find a way to help us." Once their parents had gone to sleep, Hansel quietly got up, put on his coat, and slipped outside. The moon was shining brightly, and white pebbles in the front yard glistened like silver. Hansel filled his pocket with as many as could he carry and crawled back to bed. Early in the next morning, before the sun rose, the woman came and woke the children. "Get up, you lazy children! We're going to the forest. Go gather wood." She gave each a small piece of bread, saying, "Save this for your lunch. Don't eat too much, don't eat too soon. That's all you'll get today." As they walked deeper into the woods, Hansel secretly dropped one pebble at a time onto the path behind them. When they reached in the middle of the forest, the father made a fire and said,
"Sit here and rest, children. We'll go to cut some wood nearby. When we're done, we'll come back for you."
Hansel and Gretel sat by the fire and waited. When the noon came, they ate their bread. They waited and waited, but no one came. Eventually, they grew tired and fell asleep. When they woke up, it was already dark. Gretel began to cry, but Hansel said, "Don't be afraid, just wait until the moon comes." And when the moon comes and rose a little forest, the pebbles Hansel had dropped sparkled like coins, and the children followed them all the way home. They knocked on the door just as the morning was breaking. Their father was overjoyed to see them. He had been miserable since leaving them in a wood. But the stepmother was angry and scolded them, pretending that she didn't know what had happened. Not long after that, the same situation happened again. Hunger returned, and the house was empty of food. One more time, the wife urged the man to get rid of the children, saying there was no other choice. This time, the husband resisted even more, but she gave him no peace until he finally agreed. Hansel wanted to get the pebbles again, but this time the door was locked and he couldn't get outside. In the morning, the children were given even smaller piece pieces of bread than before. As they walked into the wood, Hansel crumbled his bread and dropped tiny bits behind him, hoping to make another trail. The parents led them deeper into the woods than before. Again, a fire was built, and the parents left. At noon, the children ate their small bits of bread and waited for their father to return. But no one came. When night fell, Hansel tried to follow the breadcrumbs, but to his horror, they had all been eaten by birds. "We'll never find our way home," said Gretel, crying again. For 3 days, the children wandered through the forest, eating whatever berries they could find and drinking from small streams. On the 3rd day, they saw a beautiful white bird singing sweetly on a branch. The bird flew off and they followed it, hoping it would lead them to somewhere safe. Eventually, the day came to a little house built entirely with brick, with a roof made of cakes and sugar glass windows. "Let's eat," said Hansel. He broke off a piece of the roof and Gretel nibbled on the sugar-painted windows. And suddenly, the door opened and an old woman came out. She leaned on a cage and smiled kindly. "Oh dear children, who brought you here? Come inside and rest. You must be hungry." The children were a little nervous, but the woman was so gentle and kind that they followed her inside. She gave them milk, pancakes, apples, nuts, and sweet treats. Then she made up 2 small beds and the tired children fall asleep. But the kind old woman was actually a wicked witch who built her house to lure in children, so she could eat them. Witches in the part of the world had a kind of sense of smell and could sense children from far, far away. In the morning, Hansel found himself locked in a cage. The witch had carried him out while he slept. She saw Gretel awake and shouted, "Get up, you lazy girl! Go fetch water and cook something nice for your brother. I'm going to fatten him up, and when he is fat enough, I'll eat him." Gretel sobbed, but there was no escape. Every day she cooked rich food for Hansel while she herself got only scraps. Each morning, the witch would say, "Hansel, hold out your finger so I can check if you're getting fat." But Hansel was clever. He held out a little bone instead. The witch had bad eyesight and couldn't tell the difference. After 4 weeks, she grew impatient. "Hey, he's still too little thin," she grumbled. "No matter, I'll eat him anyway." She ordered Gretel to heat the oven. "We'll bake some breakfast," he said. "I've already stoked the fire." The witch told Gretel to climb in and check if the oven was hot enough. But Gretel, sensing the danger, said, "I don't know how do I get it?" "Hey, foolish girl," the witch snapped, bending down to show her. At that moment, Gretel gave the witch a strong push. The witch jumped into the oven and Gretel slammed the door shut and bolted it. The witch screamed and thrashed, but it was too late. She was burned to ashes. Gretel ran to Hansel's cage and locked it, and the children hugged each other joyfully. "We're free!" Gretel cried. Before they left, they searched the witch house. They found chests full of pearls, gold, and precious stones. "Let's take this with us," said Hansel. "They'll be much better than breadcrumbs." They filled their pockets and aprons and set off. After walking for a long time, they came to a great river with no bridge. They saw a white duck swimming nearby and asked, "Please, little duck, can you carry us across?" The dog calmly let them ride on her back, one at a time. Once across, they walked on through woods that slowly became familiar. Finally, they saw their father's house. They rushed inside and hugged him. He had not known peace since they disappeared. His cruel wife had died. Now that the children were home and safe, and they had treasure enough to live well, they were all filled with joy. And from that day on, they lived happily ever after. I think that's all of the story. Thank you for watching and listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See ya!